So she likes to see, and there's Bobo that's always in my videos. They want to see what's going on. They're here to see what Jimmy's doing today. Alright, this is going to be a short video. What I have here is some dogbane stalks. You can tell by their nice reddish brown color. I cut these right before winter, and they've been in my shed drying. Now, a lot of people, and you can see hundreds of videos where they smush this and then they peel it and then they fight with the bark. Now, this is super secret, and once I show you it, you're hereby sworn to secrecy. And look, here's this little bit of fiber. It's so tough. But anyways, I'm going to try it with the flint flake. And what I'm going to do is the bark's on here and the fibers. And I'm just going to lightly see how I'm scraping off the bark. Misa, you want to be in the video. You want to be in the video. Okay, now go play. I'll feed you in a little bit. Alright. Anyways. And this is all there is to the super. Now remember, you can't tell anybody. You'll go to nap-ins and primitive gatherings and all kind of stuff. And you will see this shaft getting split into 4 pieces. The bark peeled. And then rubbing like this to try and get this bark off. Now this takes a little bit of carefulness, but you can see I'm not even let me turn this a little bit. I'm not even taking off any fibers. The bark's just flaking away as dust. And if you don't get every tiny little piece, believe me, it's a lot easier than doing it the normal way of crushing this into quarters and then peeling it whole. Now, I'm going to stop, and when I get this done, I'll be back to show you how I get the bark off, how I get the fibers off. Okay, I'm going to do a little real time, how I work this. You can see I'm not cutting any fibers. There's barely any fuzz because the fibers are stuck tight to the stalk. So. Now I'm making fishing string for my Tenkara fishing pole I'm making. And so I need good clean fibers. No bark stuff on them. And that's how I thought of this method. I thought, well, even if I lose, in my mind, I said I got 100 stalks of this stuff. If I lose 50%, but I get good, clean fibers, then I'm ahead of the game. Because this stuff, I got a whole field of this grows. And, I cut it in the fall, let it dry. And, you don't always have to let it dry. Sometimes if I'm doing something and the plant's there, I'll cut it. But you see, even these fuzzy fibers aren't lost. Well, that one might be. The toughest part is getting down in, once you start getting to where there's branches, which usually I just cut it off. I don't keep, if there's branches, I don't keep it, and that's what I'm going to do here. It's getting too thin. I'm going to cut it off. You can see, now if you peeled it how they normally do, this is what you would have. Peeled with tons of bark that, you got to fuss with. Now, here's where the good thing is. I got all the bark off. See this piece? I can grab this and just peel it. And it comes off. Comes off like a piece of back sinew. It's nice and clean. And if I need a fine thread, I split it. And I'm not going to do the reverse twisting and all. There's 1,000 videos on that. But that's how you get the fine fibers. And the other thing that I just thought of this morning was, I don't see any reason to peel it all off the stick at one time. Just whenever I need a piece, just pull that piece. So now you can crush this, which is what they normally do, but with the bark on. Crush this, and it conveniently splits into 4 pieces. You pull those pieces apart. I know you can't see everything, but so you pull them pieces apart, and the traditional way is to snap and peel, and it still works with this. But you see how easy that the fiber's coming off of the inner pith? And I'm not losing any fiber. And I can actually just peel it like so. And then I've got one long piece that's really clean, just like a back sinew. And you could put this on a bow. You could moisten it and dip it in a little dilute hide glue and wrap shafting and knife handles and stuff. This is what I use. Sinew I save for bows because I don't get a lot of it. So that's one processed. And grab your other. This one's the one I peeled most of it off of. And it could go just like the regular way, except you don't have that bark on it. kind of work the fibers loose from the stalk when you do that scraping, so they don't stick. There we go. Another long, hardly any bark. You know, a couple little spots. We could take a minute and scrape them out. The main thing is getting long fibers that are holding together, and you can peel apart to make your cordage however fine you want it. And if you hit a bad spot, well, you know, you just throw that away. I think this is the section I peeled off earlier. And you can tell if the fibers are no good, then you just don't waste your time on that one. Now I'm going to try and show you how fine these fibers are. They're like little hairs. And you can make, you know, I'm taking approximately 3 and I'm twisting them into my fishing string. And this little bit right here, twist it up, can't break it. It doesn't take much of this. And if you make these strings, you use this for your bowstring, you could do 2-ply, but I don't. I do at least 4. Yeah, this is the one I peeled already. 4 to 7 plies. Thin plies piled up. And for the same diameter, multiple plies would be a lot stronger. And that might be why a lot of guys think that plant fibers don't work so good for bows. But if you make 4 plies out of this that are thin, they will be stronger than 2 plies that are thick for the same amount of material. And that's all for the video.